this. Dance with me.
Welcome to Read My Lips Radio, a lively hour of unscripted conversations with savvy creatives. Producer and host, aka Radio Red, asks novelists, artists, photographers, designers, comedians, actors, musicians, composers, screenwriters, directors, and technology innovators about their creative passion, inspirational muses, and how they create. Ooh, how those lips can talk. Now, here's aka Radio Red.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm Radio Red. It's Monday. Where in the world else would I be except here with my wonderful creatives? You all can add that to your business cards. Do people still have business cards? I don't know anymore. Just a signature on email. That's right, Rick. You said it. It's February 23rd. Before I introduce my guest, we have a couple of famous birthdays. Anybody here born today? Anybody having a birthday, Rick or Stefanie or Diann? I haven't even introduced you. You're just on a first name basis. Emily Blunt, the actress Emily Blunt, Devil Wears Prada, Young Victoria, 43.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Nash. Oh, yours is tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow, I said.
Edge of Tomorrow. Okay. Niecy Nash is 56 today. Kelly MacDonald, I know her from Line of Duty on TV. Wonderful actress. Very serious, 50. Aziz Ansari from Parks and Rec. He was Tom Haverford and Master of None. He's 43. Today is Banana Bread Day, Dog Biscuit Day, Tootsie Roll Day. Does anybody remember Tootsie Rolls? Play Tennis Day. It's a little cold here, but Diane's in a warm climate. And Curling is Cool Day. Today was the day in 2003 that Norah Jones won all 5 Grammys she was nominated for. And today in 1974, Aretha Franklin became the first artist to hold 1 through 10, all 10 top numbers on the Hot 100 when she filled in the gap with Until You Come Back to Me. I killed that one. That's all I wanted to tell you about that. So now let me officially introduce all of you. I have to do that. Now, ready? Here we go. Welcome to the Creativity Show, where bold ideas take flight, aka Radio Red on her Scarlett Mic, streaming live and bright. The bounty of creativity sets our theme today right here, where challenge meets passion, fresh visions appear. Stefanie Barnfather, wave hello. Rick Partlow, wave hello. Diann Floyd Boehm, say hello. Join today. Prolific authors, their rich perspectives to convey. Around our virtual table, we'll talk purpose, spark, and drive. Imagination and originality, where storytelling comes alive. Now, here's my gift to each of you. Stefanie is first. From Calgary's skyline to Alberta's wide walk, Stefanie caught the art bug before she could talk. At 2, she was dancing, already in motion. Ballet, her discipline. Books, her devotion. Her first paid stage bow was A Christmas Carol's Light. Then coffee and buns funded dreams taking flight. From Sheridan's halls to Calgary degrees, Stefanie mastered her art with grace and with ease. Teacher, performer, inclusive guide, till the writer within said, Stefanie, let's shift the stride. Now dystopian visions and horror stories take shape. Through Barnfather books, her worlds are bold and escape.
That's so good. Thank you.
Welcome.
Amazing.
You're welcome. That's a gift from me and Sylvie. Now, Rick, am I pronouncing it right? Partlow or Partlow? What do you prefer?
Partlow.
Partlow. Okay, there we go.
Partlow, yeah.
From Tampa's sun to Brandon's steady ground, Rick's earliest worlds in sci-fi were found. Heinlein's galaxy sparked his youthful mind. Comic books and sketch pads were close behind. History graduate, then infantry commissioned with pride. An army platoon leader in Hawaii's stride. Black belt in Taekwondo, Krav Maga refined, Rick's marathons and triathlons tested body and mind. From Florida's roots to Wyoming's wide sky, with the Tetons and Yellowstones ever nearby. In 88 sci-fi novels strong, his star fields unfurl. Rick builds whole universes, one book at a whirl. Rick, I hope you like that.
That's very nice. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. He's slightly underwhelmed, but I think he liked it. Okay, there we go. And Diann is next. Diann, go ahead.
Embarrassed when people talk about me.
Well, I'm sorry. That's just what I do here. So you just get used to it. You'll live with it for another 45 minutes. Diann is here. I haven't seen Diann in a couple of years, and I'm delighted to have you back. And here's Diann's story. Raised in Texas, where stories and song took flight, Young Diann found her stage in early school light, with Grandma Ruby and Aunt Pat cheering her along. Dream big, work hard. Those lessons were strong. From music and drama to classrooms bright, Diann earned her degrees with purpose and with might. George Mason's halls to Texas once more, teaching young minds at the kindergarten door. Now picture books bloom from her generous pen, encouraging youngsters' kindness again and again. An award-winning author whose story garden grows, Diann lets imagination rise, so her storytelling glows. Diann, I hope you enjoyed that.
I'm crying. Very good.
Never had a guest cry before. Oh,
so beautiful.
I'm glad. Now let me finish. So gather around where the cool kids and the cool vibes sway. You're all cool right now as we dive deep into creativity today. AKA Radio Red's energy lights the way. We hope to inspire you to live large, love life, and play. So do I get a round of thumbs up from that, kids? What do you think?
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. Diann, I wasn't doing those. Oh, don't cry, sweetheart. I wasn't doing those when you were on last time. I thought it would surprise you. So
It is.
I'm glad. Oh, my God. I cry sometimes. I've never had a guest cry. Let's take the pressure off of you. Stefanie, I'm going to invite you to tell us a little bit more. 12 lines couldn't possibly tell your life story. So take 2 or 3 minutes and tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do and a little bit about your book. So Stefanie, welcome. I'm putting you on speaker view. I warned you. Let's go. Here we are.
Well, thank you so much. That was an amazing introduction. I'll just sort of build off of what you already said. I did start in performing arts and about 5 years ago, moved from education into writing books full time. And I love it. I've always loved books. I've always loved reading. And I'm incredibly grateful to be able to do this, write and read and review books, and not just write books, but create short fiction on Substack, which is what I'm currently doing. And yeah, I write dystopian fiction with a lot of horror, a lot of surrealist, speculative ideas, upside down ideas, crazy things, as much as I can coax out of reality and spin it on its head. That's what I love to do. So I've got 3 novels that are in my Canuckia series, which is a fictional, sort of humorous dystopian version of Canada. Very futuristic, very weird, very dystopian, as well as my 2 collections of dystopic satire. And I'm almost done my 3rd. I've got like 1 short story to go and about 5,000 words. I should be done this week, first draft. So I'm really excited about that. And then these sort of mini publications over here, which are just straight up Canadian horror, really messed up. It's fun. So
I was going to say something silly. How did a nice girl like you get into horror and dystopian?
Oh, we're not so nice.
Where did that come? Where did it, well, the mind. Where did that come from? What was the need?
I started in the arts world, representing other people's stories. So as a performer and bringing other people's ideas to life. And I just got excited and a little, I don't want to say bored, that's not correct, but a little uninspired, I should say, with the limitations of certain expectations. I'll just say that with certain stories. And that I really wanted to push the boundaries and I wanted to try something new. And I really wanted to explore a side of storytelling that I hadn't been exposed to growing up. And so that's sort of where I was really fortunate to work with a bunch of artists a few years ago who were completely comfortable looking at the underneath and the unknown and the uncanny, and loved it. We met some great visual artists who and kind of went down the surrealist pipe for a while, exploring things there, and was really excited by it. I love new things. I love a challenge. And I really like to break rules. That's one of my favorite things. So yeah.
Stefanie, I have one complaint. Would you bring a little energy to the show? I'm teasing you. You're off the chart. It's wonderful. It's great. It's great. The excitement, the enthusiasm. People say be authentic today. Well, that's an example of
excited.
Authentic. I don't know who else you would be, but be authentic. We want you to be. I'm going to find your Substack and follow you. I would like to do that. So send me the information. Thank you. Lovely to meet you. Rick Partlow is with us. Rick, we would love to know a little more about you too. So I'm putting you on speaker view. It's your turn and welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I've always been a science fiction reader since the time I started reading, which is like 3 years old. My dad taught me early, and my dad in comic books. And I went to the library and just checked one out after another and read all the classics. And at some point, I was disappointed by the lack of more classics that I could read. So I decided to write them myself. And of course, I was being like 9 or 10 years old. Everything's kind of sucked. But, they say your first million words always suck. So you might as well get them out of the way early.
Oh, dear. I'm only up to 25,000. I got a ways to go. Go ahead.
So I got those out of the way before I was a teenager. And then once I was in college, I got more serious about writing. And after I got out of the Army and had more time, I really sat down and dug in and wrote my first 2 books that I thought at the time were ready for publication. And I had a literary agent back in the early 2000s, but we couldn't find a publisher. And eventually I self-published them on Amazon, did really, really well at that. And I eventually found a couple of different publishers, and now I have two different publishers all my books are with, and I am working on my 89th at the moment.
Wow.
Okay, now that
they're all science fiction.
Do you sleep? Do you breathe? Do you eat? Do you?
I do all those things, but I don't have a social life because I'm old and my kids are grown, and I live in northwestern Wyoming.
I'm sorry, I had to do that laugh track. I wanted the applause track, but the laugh one came out. There is 89. Do you have a whole room bookcase set up for your books?
You can see the bookcase that my books are on in the back of my view there.
Okay.
That's all the first 3 shelves are mine.
My goodness gracious. How many hours a day do you write? Just quickly.
That's hard to say because I don't just go straight through. I kind of take my time and have fun and play with my dog and whatever. But I always get like 3,000 words a day written, no matter what else, no matter how late I have to stay up or whatever.
If I could write 3,000 words a day, my 29,000 word first novella that's been sitting here for 3 years, it would be a series already. It would be a series already. I gotta get disciplined here. Thank you very much, Rick. It's wonderful to meet you. And what service were you in? You were
the Army.
And whose Army was it?
The U.S. Army.
Well, I'm careful because I know a lot of you are Canadian. A lot of people who come to me through Mickey Mickelson are Canadian. So I want to say thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, there we go. I wanted to get it right. Okay. Well, that was awkward. Okay, Diann, welcome back. Have you stopped crying, dear? Are you okay?
Yeah, the mascara's in my eyes. I'm sorry, I keep rubbing.
Oh, that's okay. You still look beautiful as always. I'm putting you on speaker view. Why don't you fill us in on, it's been 2 or 3 years since I've spoken to you, but the viewers today might not know you at all. So why don't you fill us in a little more? Welcome back, Diann. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's such an honor to be here. Where do I start? Besides writing books, I actually want to share that I lived in the Middle East for 14 years, and that allowed me to travel to 3 countries in Africa and do a lot of humanitarian work. And that inspiration and also traveling to countries that sometimes Americans aren't allowed in, but getting permission from the government to go helps inspire different characters in my books. And so I just wanted to throw that out there because it's kind of interesting.
Right.
And another fun thing I did that was very challenging for me, but I absolutely had to do it because number one, I can't stand it when it gets below 60 degrees. I'm just freezing. But I went to the Arctic with a group of women, and we raised money for breast cancer, and we traveled all over the Arctic, and every one of us had 12 dogs that we had to take care of, and that was very inspirational. Yes, we had to learn how to take care of the dogs and feed them in the freezing cold, and even though this Texas girl can't stand the cold, I thought it was the most exceptional, exciting, challenging.
That was the gasp sound effect. I wanted you to have that one. Wow. I got another one for you. There we go. Okay.
How old did it get?
Yeah, I know. 12 dogs. Wow.
Yeah.
Were these mush dogs for
Yes,
Arctic
yes.
travel?
It was very exciting. I got every single one of them a Texas scarf, so I could tell them.
Well, I didn't know that about you. That's very, very interesting. And how many books have you written by now?
I now have hardly any compared to Rick, but
Well, we're not comparing. This isn't a contest.
I'm very proud to say I have 13 books published.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. You're all what I call prolific. I talk for a living, but I write on the side. I belong to a poetry group from Writer's Digest, and every Wednesday we get a prompt from the moderator. It's a one word or a phrase. And in the months of April, which is coming up soon, April and November, we get a prompt a day. It's a PAD, it's called a PAD challenge. But we're not challenged to write against it. It's not a competition, but we comment, we give thumbs up and we make comments. It's done on a disq.us website. It's free. And over the past years, I'm just going to brag on a little bit here. I've been doing this for about 3 years, and I usually write between 3 and 5 poems a day during April's and November's, and one or more a day on the rest of the Wednesdays of the year. So I've written about 750 to 900 poems. Does that count for anything, kids? With
Yes.
89?
Very impressive.
Thank you very much. A few of them are
Incredible.
published in a little PDF I sent to friends, but I'm going to do more. And it's just a lot of fun to write. I'll tell you, I'll read some of mine later, but I have one I'm dedicating to all of you at the end of the show today. It's an acrostic. And I think
I couldn't write poetry to save my life, so
Me either.
poetry today is different, Rick. It's not rhyming. I write what I call limericks. I had the limerick of Susie, Woozy, Susie, Doozy, and Timothy, Tommy, and he ran his dad's red Thunderbird into the garage door because Susie was sitting on his lap when they never mind. And so she's Susie Doozy, and he had to find somebody else to date. There's a fan club, and it's just an awful lot of stuff going on. So I did those. I called them limericks because the first line was rhyme A, second rhyme was B, and then a separate rhyme for line 3 and 4. The fifth line's supposed to rhyme with A, but I did a run-on sentence with no punctuation until I got to that rhyme at the last line that rhymed with A. And it was A A B B A. That was the rhyme scheme. And it was crazy. And I just felt so I did those characters, Rick. I did the same format every week. I did one or two of the story of Timmy, Tommy, whatever, and the limericks, yes. And now I have a different format I'm using. I'll tell you about it later. Okay, let's move on. Thank you so much for the introductions. You're all fascinating people. And Stefanie, we're going to start with the fictional quotes. I asked each of you to send me a quote from a fictional character in a movie or a TV show or a song lyric. I've done this before. That's why I say it with my eyes closed. And I'm going to read the quote with a little background, and I'd like you to explain what it has to do with your own creativity. So Stefanie has picked one of the most beloved characters in recent TV years, and the show has not been canceled. It's coming back for season 4, and we all cannot wait on Apple TV. The season is series Ted Lasso, played by the wonderful Jason Sudeikis. Sports, comedy, drama, Apple TV, started in 2020, and it's been renewed. And Stefanie picked a quote from season 1, episode 1, the pilot, August 14th, 2020. I can't believe it was that long ago. Series follows Ted Lasso, an American college football coach, unexpectedly recruited to go to the fictional English Premier League soccer team, AFC Richmond, even though he has no experience with soccer. And the woman who owns it, well, she's trying to get back at her unfaithful ex-husband, Rupert, and she wants him to ruin the team, but everybody loves Ted, and that's the way it goes. So here is the line. Here's the scene. Ted walks in and he says, "Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Ted Lasso, your new coach. You must be Ms. Welton." And Rebecca Welton, played by Hannah Waddingham, says, "Please call me Rebecca. Ms. Welton's my father." And the line that Stefanie picked is the following one. Ted says, "If that's a joke, I love it. If not, I can't wait to unpack that with you later." So, Stefanie, I like to do the scene rather than just the line.
Good.
So, Stefanie, why don't you take 2 or 3 minutes and tell us what this has to do with you? Go ahead.
Absolutely. First of all, I love that show. I love that line. What that line means to me and how it relates to my writing is pretty straightforward. I approach all of my stories through the lens of openness and being excited and humor, good humor, and with the intention to represent my characters and my ideas with just a big heart and a forgiving, compassionate mind. And Usually along the way that works, but sometimes it will take a bit of a detour and all of a sudden I'm writing dystopian fiction and horror stories and my body count is really high and I don't understand how this happened. But I don't mind, because when those sorts of things show up in my work or in my process, throughout my creative process, I just like to unpack it. I'll unpack it later. I'll put a little bookmark or a little note and say, this maybe doesn't work in this book or this story or this poem. I do write poems, but I would love to look at it more deeply in another piece. Actually, that's how the book series I wrote came to be. I was working on a completely different series, and to sort of clarify my ideas, I started writing short fiction, short stories, a lot of which made it into my collections, and then realized I preferred the world I was developing in these short stories than in the novel series. So I threw the novel series in the garbage and started from scratch and started building on this world that I had just looked in the window, looked through little peeks and, oh, I'm going to unpack that later. I'm going to pack that later. And then now I've been unpacking it for 5 years. So, and so that's my creative process is very much like, let's have some fun, but, oh, that's weird. Oh, hey, that's actually really cool. Let's look into that a little bit more deeply. And
I wasn't sure what part of that quote in that scene you were going to talk about, and it was the word unpack. Very clever, Stefanie. Very, very, I'm giving you a thumbs up there. Very, very clever use of a quote. I haven't seen any Ted Lasso quotes used quite that way. And we're all hoping that they come back soon, because we've waited till, it was like, okay, three seasons, that's the arc for the characters in the show and everything, and we're done. And then everybody said, how dare you? We want more. So supposedly it's coming. So thank you very much, Stefanie. Rick is next. Rick has picked a quote from the film Serenity, 2005 sci-fi film. The character is Mal Reynolds, played by one of my favorite actors, Nathan Fillion. And Nathan Fillion, I first met him, excuse me, through the series Castle. Do you remember Castle? It was a cop show, and he was a creative writer who had a daughter who was family was very interesting in the back, not so much background, but he was inspired to join a cop team, if I could say, detective team, and he went on calls with them and tried to solve murders with them, and it was fascinating. He's now on The Rookie as an older guy who gets involved as a cop, and I didn't know anything about Serenity. I don't watch sci-fi, so shame on me. Mal Reynolds, the character, is a charismatic, cynical captain of the Firefly class transport ship Serenity in the cult sci-fi franchise created by Joss Whedon, spanning the 2002 series Firefly and the 2005 film Serenity. He's a veteran browncoat sergeant leading a ragtag crew on the fringes of space. Sounds way out of my comfort zone here. And here's the quote Rick has picked. This is a good one. I aim to misbehave. Okay, Rick, talk to us. We're loving this. Go ahead.
First of all, I have to say I love the series, but the movie is much better than the series.
Okay.
The quote is made in the movie when he's like, they're saying, you can't go up against the government and the corporations and all this that are trying to keep all this stuff secret. But for me, you have to understand, when I tried to get published, science fiction was changing. The type of science fiction that I really loved was the classical Heinlein style science fiction. And I also had grown to really like cyberpunk in the 80s with William Gibson, which you may not be, if you don't know science fiction, but he did the whole stuff that you look at the Matrix, that's all cyberpunk. And I also grew to appreciate the 90s military science fiction, but nobody was combining all that. And that was kind of something that you couldn't do, you couldn't get away with. Nobody was writing classic science fiction anymore, and certainly nobody was combining all that stuff into one. So I did it, and I like making my own way. I aim to misbehave, not follow the rules that people set up for. I can write military science fiction and have it marketed in that area, but I put everything I want into it, all the cyberpunk, all the classic space opera elements, whatever I want.
Okay, I'm the girl who takes the last line of the limerick and makes it 2,500 words and finally rhymes it. So tell me about misbehaving. Tell me about breaking the rules. I think we agree, and when I close the show, you'll hear something in my closing about that too. Bravo. Now I have to give you a proper applause here. Hold on, let's get the soundtrack. Where are we going here? Can I find it? Can I find it? Here we go. There we go. That's for you. Can you hear that, Rick? There we go. That's for you. That's for and was there a Broadway show, Ain't Misbehavin', or a song from way back in the day? Yeah, a song.
Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. Is that it?
There you go. Now Diane's really gonna cry. Okay. Okay, Diann. Thank you, Rick. Diann has given us a music quote from a wonderful song by somebody who left us way too soon. And tragically, the song is The Greatest Love of All, recorded by the wonderful, beautiful, talented Whitney Houston. This was recorded in 1985 to 86. It's a cover of the original song, Diann, by Michael Masser and Linda Creed. It was recorded by George Benson, who was one of my favorite performers back in the day. Originally, it was the B-side of Whitney Houston's solo debut hit, You Give Good Love, in February 85. It was released by her Arista Records label as the sixth single from her debut album in 86. That's why I gave 2 years. In the US, it was her third consecutive #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100. Boy, this sounds like an airplane about to land on my lawn here. Hope not. It's not a big lawn. 3 consecutive weeks. She's the first female artist with 3 Hot 100 #1 singles on the same album. Interesting. And here is the line Diann has selected. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Now I'm going to cry, Diann. How dare you? Go ahead. How did you pick this, and what does this have to do with you, please?
Because that's just totally me. I worry about the children today because so much of their childhood is not innocent anymore. And I really want children to take this tiny moment in time that they have and embrace their imagination and to just love life, go out and chase a butterfly and wiggle your toes into the grass and discover how beautiful life is before, you grow up. And so I just feel like that song, when she sings it, and I wish I could sing it as well as her, but I mean, who can have pipes like Whitney Houston? But it just resonates completely with me. And sometimes I'll put it on when I'm trying to be inspired and writing my books.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you all for the quotes. I appreciate that very much. I used to ask people to just send a quote, and I got so many quotes from Gandhi and Maya Angelou and let's see, Shakespeare once in a while, and Thomas Edison and Charles Darwin and Mark Twain was a big one. And after a while, I just see the last name and I could recite the quote. I said, okay, we got to stop this nonsense. So I switched about 5 years ago to only fictional quotes. And I have some guests on my technology show on Wednesdays who fight me. What do you mean? Why can't I quote Mark Twain? Why can't I quote somebody who wrote sci-fi? Why can't I quote Rick Partlow? Why can't I quote Stefanie Barnfather? No, it has to be from a fictional character. There you go. So,
well, some people think Shakespeare was a fictional character. So.
This is true, but they quote. Never mind. We'll leave that one alone. Okay, so now it's time to go to the creativity statements, and let's turn this into a real round table. And here's what we're going to do. I picked 2 from Stefanie. You don't have to find them. It's not a pop quiz. I'm going to read them. I'm putting 2 together, and I'd like you to talk for a couple minutes. Hold down the enthusiasm a little, Stefanie.
All right, sorry.
I'm playing with you. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Keep it up. Okay. And then I'm going to ask Rick and Diann to react, to respond. If it resonates, if you do something different, don't give me too much of what you send in your creativity statements, but let's start this going around the table. So Stefanie says, statement 2, when I see something that makes me blink twice, I have to take a closer look. Now put that one on the side. And number 4, she says, I email myself a hastily written note when I get an idea at an unconventional time. And I'm assuming there's a blink twice in there somewhere, like a checkout line at the grocery store or in the middle of the night which might explain why my fiction leans toward the absurd. I love that. That was great. You want to listen? I'm the comedian here, kid. Don't steal me. Okay, don't steal the lines. Stefanie, tell us a little bit about what this. I get this a lot from my authors, from my fiction authors on my shows about inspiration coming from almost anywhere at any time. But tell us a little more about that blink twice. That's what I'm really interested in. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think it just for me means that inspiration can come from anywhere. I'll be walking down the street and look at a tree and go, hold on a minute, that leaf doesn't look right. And I was in Quebec City back in November, and I love nature. We're going for a walk. We're looking at the trees, and they're beautiful and yellow. And I go, well, there's some black spots on them. This is unusual. So my husband, who's a good sport and follows me on my whims, my pursuit of learning and answer seeking, we're looking for the leaves on the ground, and sure enough, they've got these odd little black spots. So we did some research, and it's fine. It's a normal seasonal thing. It just I've never seen it before. And in my mind, I'm creating a world of little subcultures on the leaves, and like Dr. Seuss, like the Who's in the snowflakes, they're on the that's what's happening in my head. And so there's my idea. It's done. There's a short story, there's a book, there's something there. But that they come from anywhere. I have to email myself things. I have to have my phone handy, and I will sometimes open my email and there'll just be tons of little weird undeciphered statements, and it just triggers all these memories of things I saw and were just a little unusual and made me think, and I need to look a little deeper. Like I said before, I need to explore it a little deeper. Names do that for me too. I was at the checkout. They're a grocery store, and the person who's bagging my groceries, I had never seen her name on her tag before, and send myself a surreptitious email to make hope she doesn't see. Oh, I got to note that. That's interesting. What are the roots or the origins? Got to look at that. And it's fun. It helps me come up with lots of ideas.
I have a little quote later on in the show from David Byrne from Talking Heads, the band, the group, and he talks about the little beginnings. And what to do with them. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Diann or Rick, any comments back to Stefanie about hastily written notes to yourself, or something that makes you think twice, blink twice? Rick?
I do the same thing with, I don't email them to myself, but there's like the notes app on my phone. I'm just constantly putting notes in there, like at the gym or the grocery store. Like something will come to me. I'll be like traveling somewhere and I'll see a place name. And I'm like, oh, that sounds good. I need to save that. I'll write it down. So yeah, I totally get that.
Very cool. Diann, anything for you?
Yeah, I'm the same exact way, except I do a voice message to myself. Because I want to hear how it moves me, and so my voice will have it. So that's what I do.
Isn't that interesting? You use the voice recorder on your phone, or do you actually call yourself one of your numbers, or how do you do it?
I use the voice recorder on my phone and send myself a message going, oh, did you see the snake today? Oh my gosh. And that way I have the enthusiasm for my story.
Last time I used the voice recorder, somebody was snoring next to me and I wanted them to hear it. I'm sorry. It was terribly insidious. Stefanie, anything you want to say back to these wonderful people on the panel with you about saving their thoughts?
Yeah, I just think anything you could, I've Post-its as well. And I like the idea of hearing the tone of your voice, though. I might try that. That's because the emotion that's in there and that can really color how the idea develops or how much it resonated at the time, which kind of gives information about how much it should be pursued or what direction.
That's why I like the roundtable. We share ideas and we learn from each other, and it just gets really interesting. Okay, forget what I said about the snoring. He didn't know he snored that loud. I didn't erase it either. Okay, let's go to Rick. Thank you so much, Stefanie. Excuse me for starting the roundtable. Rick, I'm picking two of we already know about your inspirations, Robert Heinlein and William Gibson, and you write military sci-fi. Okay, but I'm going with your statement 2 and 4, which are different. Number 2, Rick says, I am most creative at night. Let's hold on to that one. And number 4 statement, you say, I watch dash cam videos while I write. Am I getting into territory I don't want to get into here? Go ahead, Rick. Putting you back on speaker view. Talk to me.
I need background noise while I write, because if it's too quiet, then I have tinnitus from being in the military, among other things. So I get a little bit of a whine in my ear. So if it's too quiet, the whine takes over. And also, I live somewhere very quiet. I live in Northwest Wyoming in agricultural lands. So it's really quiet here too. So if I don't have something in the background, the quiet kind of takes over. But it can't be anything I have to think about. Like if I'm watching, even if I have like music on with lyrics, I'll start thinking about the lyrics. And I've tried playing like soundtracks from movies, but then I start thinking about the movies. So I put dash cam videos on, and it's just, car wrecks and near misses and stuff. And it's just like in the background, and I can not think about it. And
Wait a minute. You're watching car wrecks and you're not thinking about that's background for you?
I'm thinking I'm glad I don't live in New York City or Houston, but aside from that, that's what
New Yorker here, former lifelong New Yorker. What can I tell you? No, there weren't too many wrecks near my house, but I was on Long Island. Interesting, interesting. Diann, I know you write in the morning, but anything you want to say about Rick writing at night? And then Stefanie will get to you. Go ahead, Diann.
So glad you can think and focus at night.
my brain doesn't start working until about 10:30 in the morning. So
and I start slowing down. It's like 5 o'clock. It's time to start getting ready for bed.
Oh my God, Rick, how late do you go if you write at night? How long do you write?
Somewhere between 11 and 2, just whatever I get done.
Wow. I'm usually up till 1. You can always email or text me.
Luckily, I don't have to be up early. So
there you go. That's good. Stefanie, any thoughts about writing time of day?
Yeah, I'm pretty zippy first thing in the morning, like at like 7 a.m., which is early. And then I wake up with ideas and then I get them out. And then I hit a wall and I go wander around, do chores and things. And then I get a second wind around 1 o'clock and do work till about 4. But after 4, I'm a mess. I'm nothing. I'm a slug. I'm a slug in human form. I just go and hold onto the couch and read or watch TV or something, watch a show and take notes maybe. If something comes to my mind, I write it down, but that's it. So yeah.
I wish I had more time to read.
Interesting. When I wanted to write romantic comedy plays about 8 years ago, I was working full time doing something with marketing for some bank in New York City, whatever I was doing. And one night I decided I had no idea how to write a play. So I went online and looked for playwriting 101. How do you, what font do you use? What leading do you use? How do you set up a scene? How do you define a character? And I found a document. It was free download, and I put it into a Word document. And the next night I started writing from 1 to 4 in the morning. And in 3 nights I'd written my first play. And it just poured out of me. And the characters told me who they were, what they looked like, what they sounded like, what they ate, how they talked, what their backgrounds were, how they were going to relate to each other. And it was like I was just a channel. It was the strangest thing. And I did 3 more plays like that. But it just came out. It just poured. It was like I was being conscripted, if you will. I think that's a military word, Rick. I was being conscripted to express what these characters wanted to say. And it was a very interesting process. Now that I'm writing my novel, I wrote most of it 2 years ago, and I'm agonizing over how to finish it and whether to finish it. And I'll say Sunday I'm going to write, and then I'll prefer to vacuum or wash the kitchen floor or something. So it's in those stages, but maybe somebody will encourage. When I'm ready, I'll do it. There you go. Okay, so let's go to, thank you, Rick. That was very interesting. Let's go to Diann. Diann, I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to read from you. I'm going to start with number 1, statement 1, and statement 4. I'm going to combine 2 and 4. So here we go. Diann says, I do my best writing when I stay anchored to my tagline, embrace imagination. And I let it guide every story choice I make as I bring laughter, knowledge, and curiosity to young readers. Now, we're talking about a different readership than Rick and Stefanie, obviously. But I like the mix here on the show because you're all writers and we're all creative. So it works to talk
dystopian Canadian children's stories. I'm just saying.
See, it's a good round table. And Diann says, I'm most creative early in the morning when the day feels fresh and my dreams are still close, writing in my home office or my story garden, a cozy room filled with children's books from the late 1800s to today. And then Diann says, I often let ideas simmer while I'm gardening, walking, or singing. And in the quiet of the night, I feel angels as my muse sending whispers that grow into stories like Boomer Sees the Town and His Future Adventure. So we've got some nighttime, we've got walking, singing, gardening, we've got the morning, we've got the story garden, and we've got embrace imagination. Can you use Stefanie's quote word, please, and unpack this for us, Diann? Go ahead.
It is a lot to unpack.
It's good.
Embrace,
It's good.
yeah,
Go.
embrace imagination is powerful to me. And going back to Whitney Houston and the children, it's just everything. I teach my when I was a classroom teacher, and now with my grandson, I teach them just to, well, what do you see? What, here's a blade of grass. What can we do? Let's talk about this blade of grass. Was a worm on it? You know, and just start building stories and let them discover, oh, I can be and do and see. And hopefully that makes sense to you. And before I go to sleep at night, I hope and pray that if there's an angel that's like, I didn't get to do something, that they'll let me help them get that message out. And so I try to open my mind to that.
That's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Rick or Stefanie, anything you want to say to Diann?
Yeah, I'm actually completely aligned with you with gardening. That's how I get a lot of ideas. Mine are different. My ideas are different. They're more evil and sinister, but like, but gardening does inspire a lot of interesting ideas and
was
the
good.
observations for sure, right? Yeah.
That was good. Rick, anything? Do you have a phrase that inspires you, a tagline, anything?
No, but I do get the working outside, helping to inspire you. I don't garden, but mowing the lawn,
Okay, that
like a
counts.
thing where I can shut off everything else and the ideas can just ruminate around in my head.
That counts.
Absolutely.
It's the ruminating. That's the thing, is finding room to ruminate, right? Whether you've got body cams, I'm sorry, whether you've got dash cams on in the background, or whether the birds are singing, or whether the lawnmower is going. Is it a push lawnmower? Is it electric, or is it a riding one, Rick? We want to know. Don't we?
Well, I have a push lawnmower and a riding lawnmower because I have a fenced in part of my yard and then I have a really big area that's not.
Okay. All right. I was just curious about that. Okay. I have a lawnmower service. Anyway, very interesting. Thank you, Diann. I want to move on to Stefanie. I have a couple more creativity statements from you. We have a little more time and I'd like to touch on these. So Stefanie says, I tell strange stories in weird ways that reveal a lot of common sense. Can you please unpack that for us?
Yes.
How? Go ahead.
One of my favorite ways of writing short stories, not long form fiction, but short stories, is to introduce the oddity up front, right before the action gets really heated, to capture people's imagination so that they're interested in essentially saying, what is this? This is so weird. What is happening here? And then as the plot reveals itself, as the story unfurls, and the human characters start to interact with their very odd environment or the very odd problem they're facing. What I like to then hopefully reveal and make clear to readers is that this is actually a very common problem. It might be in an odd environment or a place you've never heard of or seen, or with monsters or creatures that couldn't exist. But the problems that the humans are facing and the challenges they're attempting to overcome in a very real way are pretty relatable. Sometimes that's not the case at all. Sometimes they're just being attacked by sentient roots who want to eat them, and that's it. And I just let that happen. But a lot of times I try to invent odd things, very surreal. And hopefully beneath that or through that, readers can say, "Oh, I actually totally get this. This hits in a very different way. This came at me from a different direction, but I understand. I get it." And it's an interesting backwards way into really, things we all know. Yeah.
Let's see, Rick or Diann, does that resonate with either one of you? Rick?
I kind of do, in many ways, because of what I write. I do a little bit of the opposite of Stefanie. She takes and introduces the surreal into the everyday, but I write stuff that takes place on other worlds, so I have to introduce the everyday into the surreal. So I make things that you probably wouldn't relate to, like other planets and starships, relatable to people who live, here and work every day.
in our world.
Yeah.
Diann, what about you with the children's books, introducing a problem or something to catch, an anomaly to catch their attention? How do you work with that process?
Yes, I do. And I totally relate to what she's saying. I approach it from a child's point of view because you need to enter their world. But I try to use bunnies and different characters mostly. So within that animation of the children's mind, they can see that, oh, I really need to be nice, or maybe I'll go out and sing a song and that'll bring a smile to someone's face. So, or explore a town like the bunny Boomer does.
That's sweet. I'm recalling when I used to do stand-up comedy. I had a troupe. I won't tell you the name of it right now, but did some downtown clubs in Manhattan and Borders bookstores and public libraries with my community. We had to keep it very clean, obviously. But one of the rules of stand-up was, Stefanie, I think you'll appreciate this. Start when you get on stage or wherever you're talking to people. Come up with whatever it is they notice first. If it's an anomaly, like, yeah, this nose is in 2 time zones, where we're Eastern and we're Central, or yeah, that arm isn't swinging the way I wanted to because I just had it in a sling. I broke my arm. Something that they will notice that will distract them. It's like in selling. Answer the objection before the potential client or a purchaser, buyer notices it. Come out with something that they possibly noticed that they will pay attention to, and then tell your story. Does that make sense to everybody a little bit? Come up with that one thing that will people say, oh my God, look at the nose on her. Well, not me, but anyway, the point is come up with something that they will notice and you're already relating to them through that comment. And then you can get on, then you've got their attention. That's it.
And their trust as well, right?
Yes.
Like, hey, we're all in on it. I see it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Rick, does this say anything to you?
But yeah, you have to catch people early in the book and make them relate to the main character. It's kind of a save the cat type of thing, isn't it? Where you get somebody and you want to establish them as being relatable and positive, and you have them do something good, even if they have to do some bad things later. They save the cat or do something that makes the audience relate to them.
Isn't that interesting? I've never heard that expression, but I get it. Thank you. I want to go to one more expression, one more statement from Stefanie, and then we're going to get ready to close. We've got about 6 minutes left, and we're 7 minutes. So Stefanie says, I am inspired by creators who embrace their duality, like romance authors who pen true crime on the side. So are we talking about their work or them as creator people? Stefanie, can you, I'm not sure where you're going with this, so can you share that with us?
I think it's understanding that we all possess a duality, and the artists that lean into that in their work. Yeah, that's so a belief that we have we contain multitudes, everybody, and knowing how to coax out parts of ourselves that may not necessarily align in the way that other people accept it or see it necessarily, but that we get and we see and are comfortable representing in our work and in ourselves. So yeah, I think the romance writer writing true crime on the side is a really good symbol of that. Somebody who embraces love and happy ever afters, but also, doesn't mind a little gore every now and then.
Interesting. So that would be something you'd learn about an author in their bio or in the backstory of them in an interview or in the back cover. Diann, do you have a dual side you want to share with us?
I totally relate. I love romantic comedy, but in the evening, I want to watch nothing but crime and solving it and figuring out the mystery and how dare them.
I have something to tell you. Rick, what about you? Or you have a duality to you as a creator?
Well, I guess I'm a little boring in that. I am very.
I don't think so.
I'm very into the fantastic adventures, things that are out there, and really that's what I like watching. I'm not really into grittier, down to earth stuff as much in my entertainment, and I'm not interested really in writing a thriller or something grounded in reality. It just doesn't appeal to me.
But you mow lawns, and we know that now. So
yeah,
we've got to talk about being grounded.
That's my connection to reality. I do wildlife photography as a hobby.
Why did you say so? There you go.
Very real.
That's your duality. That's it. That's it. See what brought out. See, this is why we talk around the table. I don't do interviews anymore. I just want to get everybody together and have a good time. I have some quotes to read to you. We got a couple minutes left, and I think these will resonate with you. And then I have a little poem I want to read. But Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote Anne of Green Gables, she was a 1908. This is a 1908 novel. She's a Canadian author, and this is from chapter 19 of the book. Interesting. The title of the chapter is A Concert, a Catastrophe, and a Confession. Don't you just love that title, Stefanie? The quote is, something just flashes into your mind. So exciting, and you must out with it. If you stop to think it over, you'll spoil it all. Interesting. Those are those little wisps. Here's a quote from Rapunzel, voiced by Mandy Moore. Tangled, 2010 3D computer animated musical adventure fantasy comedy film. Let's just throw all the genres together. And the quote is, venture outside your comfort zone. The rewards are worth it. And I think originally you weren't in this comfort zone, Stefanie or Rick. Maybe Diann was, but I don't think you all started out growing up saying, I'm going to write this kind of stuff. And there you are. I'm just guessing. Rolling Stones, 1969. You can't always get what you want, but if you try, sometimes you'll get what you need. We all know that one. And from Glinda the Good Witch of the North, played by Billy Burke, the original Wizard of Oz, 1939 fantasy film. You had the power all along, my dear. Everybody remember that? Thank you. Jordan says 4 minutes. David Byrne, the quote is from Little Beginnings. It was his trick he used in an interview in 2023. He says, you're already more creative than you think. Just need to pay attention, more attention to your ideas. He says, sometimes I just have the title of a song that comes to me and I write it down. And I say, expand on that. I think there's something there. And I have it in my computer, a whole lot of musical ideas that may be just a melody, a nonsense word, awaiting something more. But I need something to start with. It's hard to start from nothing. I'll accumulate these very little beginnings. And when I come back, I've got something to build on. I thought you'd all appreciate that. And let's see, I have one from, I don't have any more quotes. I'm going to read you my acrostic before we finish here, and then stick around and we'll talk afterwards. So here's my gift, another gift to all of you. The prompt from the moderator on July 24th, 2024, that was a Wednesday, was night shift. Write a poem, something about night shift. So I took the letters NIGHT, SHIFT, and I made an acrostic. I will lean in a little bit when I read the word for each letter. Don't try to find them, but they're there. Here we go. This is dedicated to all of you. Never quite really at rest. It's the life of a creative. Going, gripping, gyrating, growling, groaning, growing, highs and lows. Flowing on a mental Mobius strip. The days are the nights are the days again. Shifting off and on, into and out of gear, hoping for unique brilliance even once. It's a calling, command, curse, roller coaster, finding eureka, euphoria, amid frustration, fears. Thus is the life of the creative. And I dedicate that to the three of you. I hope you enjoyed that. Diann, are you crying again?
Yes.
Okay. I got you. And here's one that'll make you silly. This was write a blank like blank something. So I took the word blank like blank, and it's believe in love always. Never kiss a leprechaun in a kayak. Every boat's like a nervous kangaroo. Rick, you can smile now. Okay, we're going to close out. We're going to close out. He's like, what is she talking about? Okay, Jordan's giving me the 2-minute signal here. So let me read this. Top 10 tips for women in 2014. I used to close my shows with this, and I saved. Thank goodness for saving notes, Stefanie. Here we go. The number one tip was aspire to be Barbie. The biatch has everything. This was 10 years before they made the movie. And Rick, for you, don't get your knickers in a knot. It makes you walk funny. We'll leave that one alone. Okay, final words. Life is short.
Well, if I were Ken, I wouldn't have to worry about getting my knickers in a knot.
There we go. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Kiss slowly. Oh, yes. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. Everybody laugh with me. 1, 2, 3. Oh, come on. You can do better than that. But we don't have to. There we go. And never, ever, ever regret anything that made you smile. Final words. Work like you don't need the money. Dance like no one's watching. When I taught disco in high heels in a high school cafeteria near Eugene, Oregon, and they didn't have a stage and I had to teach on top of a Formica tabletop, everybody watched. 250 students, disco lined it. I never fell, but boy, did they watch. Sing like nobody's listening. I didn't sing too much tonight. And love like you'd never been hurt. We all have. Let your heart regroup, regrow, and come back and love again. Money talks. Now I'm going to cry, Diann. Money talks. Chocolate sings. La. And last but not least, I stole this line from somebody years ago, and I still keep it at the end of my show. Thank you for turning me on. I'm Radio Red. Let's go out with the music from my brand new show. If I can find it here. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, good. Okay. This is my new daily show called Say What Good News. Every morning. Weekday mornings. 4 minutes. LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. And you're all my good news today. Dance with me. Make mine decaf. In my cup. Scrolling. Oh, look at Diann go. Same old drama. Same old crap. That's what we need. Turn it up. Let those bad vibes fade. Hit play. Say what? Good news. Let's lift that mood. Come on, everybody, with your books, your creativity, your love of life, your love of writing. Feel that smiling coming through. Wave goodbye. Here we go.